Timothy Dickoris Sales. I am writing to express my sincere concern and, to be frank, sheer disappointment in your lack of integrity. It has been such a long time since you promised my fellow advocates against the predatory practices of multi-level marketing companies the data you claimed you had that would make us completely change our stances. Evidence that a new company that you conveniently couldn't state the name of was raking in outstanding numbers and an overwhelming success rate. 2 months, Sir Terminator Dingleheimer scams, since you claimed this vital, life-changing information would be freely available to the general public. And yet, woe are we, the ones who strive for data to construct informed opinions and arguments, for we have yet to be gifted with even a scrap, a mere morsel of what you promised to us. All that you have delivered is utter silence. We gave you a chance, Mr. Thomas Decepticon Slimes, and you gave us a hard time. Furthermore, your response to our follow-up inquiries in the form of 2 videos by the lovely Lady Taylor Antibot and Miss Gay Aunt from the AD Savy was to block those featured in their videos that you hadn't blocked already on your Twitter. The nerve! Imagine my shock, Sir Twithead Timothy Slugs, when I realized that I myself was cast from your all-lying presence. Oh, how my heart aches! You can hear it shattering from beneath my terrible accent. It is clear to me now that you have no intent to produce that data for us because it frankly doesn't actually exist. Farewell, Tinkerbell Dodo Shams! I shall miss your phony smile, your logical fallacies, and empty claims. But I shan't miss your Twitter, which had the same amount of engagement as mine, despite your being a supposed network marketing genius. With all due respect, which is none, Lady Victoria, the Goth against pyramid schemes. Okay, for those of you who are confused, let me rewind. Hello, and welcome to Multi-Level Mess. My name is Tori, and I'm a goth against empty claims and false promises. Some of my viewers might already be aware of a man who considers himself to be a network marketing guru, the type who sells ideas of success and tips and tools for people within MLMs. His name is Tim Sales, and he's been on the anti-MLM radar for a while now, which is why I am comfortable with using his name for this video. But most notably, he caught some attention last year when he made a video trying to debunk arguments made by the anti-MLM movement. In his original thumbnail, he featured a picture of Savy from Savy Writes Books, who you guys know I am a fan of, despite her not actually being featured anywhere in the video. And as a side note, in doing some quick research for this video, I noticed that Tim has an entire playlist of videos dedicated to responding to just one anti-MLM channel in particular, that being Kiki Chanel. And I didn't go through to confirm that every one of those 17 videos did in fact feature her in some regard, but to me personally, that felt very excessive and possibly obsessive. It's one thing to focus a lot of content on one particular company and all of its issues, but it's another for someone to use their professional business channel to try to discredit a single person. I've watched enough of Kiki's content in the past to say that I always felt that she is a very fair and well-researched individual with a bright, bubbly personality. Aesthetically, she is absolutely my polar opposite, but I love that about her. I highly recommend you all check out her channel, but I can only begin to assume why Tim would decide to spend so much time going after her in particular. Back back to the main topic, this video of his was noticed by Savy, as well as Taylor, aka the Antibot, which is another one of my favorite anti-MLM channels, and another wonderful woman that I suggest you go check out. She is such a well-spoken, logical creator, and I admire how she presents her content in an analytical and non-confrontational manner. These two commented on Tim's video about their thoughts and asked some very interesting questions, only to have their posts mass deleted. I'm only going over this briefly because you should just check out their videos that cover everything, which I'll try to link in the description. Essentially, they continued their efforts to carry on a conversation, and that led to Tim's sales making a fascinating claim that a growing MLM he was working with had data showing that around 7.5% of their distributors were making about $50,000 a year. Now, this data, if real, would absolutely be revolutionary, as it would shift the previous statistics from other research, such as a study by John M. Taylor of the Consumer Awareness Institute that found that 99% of all participants in MLMs lose money. While the data Tim claimed to have probably wouldn't show how much was being spent compared to earnings in order to calculate profit margins, it would still stand out among countless income disclosures from other companies that showed around 1% or less of their distributors earning that much annually. If one company could prove to be an outlier, we could analyze them and see what methods they were using to increase the chances of success for their members, and it could lead to ideas on ways to possibly modify other MLM business models into being just a bit more ethical. However, Tim couldn't provide either the data nor the name of the company it was for. At the time, he said that the information would be publicly available by the end of March 2021, and that the two of them could ask him for it at that time. I don't doubt that he expected them to both forget about it in the months that followed, but he forgot something very crucial which is important to remember, especially one is supposedly an expert in social marketing. The internet never forgets. Savy and Taylor both made note of this promise and published videos about it, and in turn that made their viewers aware of it and make a note in their mental calendars. As the deadline approached, several people reached out to Tim reminding him of his claims and asking for the data, myself included. None of us received a response, and at least one person got blocked on Twitter for asking. Others were allegedly already blocked for other reasons. March comes and goes with no data released. Taylor, being the fair person she is, politely emailed Tim reminding him about their conversation and asking for the data. A conversation with someone who was seemingly one of his assistants or employees led to assurance that it would be sent soon. But it never was. A month passed before Savy and Taylor finally decided that they had given him enough time. So they both posted follow-up videos calling him out for not following through, as well as discussing the investigative lengths they went to try to access any information that could possibly exist while posing as potential new customers. Once again, I'll link their videos so that you can hear everything that went down. I was pleasantly surprised to see my own tweet featured in Taylor's video because Senpai noticed me, and yes, I am that pathetic sometimes. However, this feature didn't sit well with old Timmy, apparently, and he finally noticed me too. I do not know exactly when after that video he decided to act, but like the honest and integrous man he is, he made the choice to block me on Twitter. What a professional move in response to someone asking why you didn't keep your promise. Addressing an issue or providing an explanation or apology is obviously for chumps. Real experts in business just kick their problems under the rug. Now, of course I brought this up on Twitter the moment I found out, since the blocking thing was something I felt was important to note about Taylor's video, and her response was the following. Wow. It's really weird to me that he's blocking everyone who talks about it except me and Savy. To which Savy added, keeping friends close and enemies closer. And I'm just going to share my response. Maybe because blocking you two specifically would confirm that he never intended to show the data? At this point, I think it's safe to believe it never existed, unless he can finally deliver something that can be confirmed legitimate. So yeah, my personal guess is that he knows that if he blocks either of them, it would show that he cut off attempts to communicate. And right now he's trying to sell a narrative that the data does exist, but he's just too busy to get around to providing it to them right now. As long as he can keep up an illusion of allowing communication between them, he has a better chance of his followers not catching on. It's easier for him to say he's working with Taylor and Savy, rather than to let people continuously ask him about it under his posts where his followers see, and allowing them to tag him. In my opinion, this method is not only extremely unprofessional, but it's also highly suspicious. And like I said in my response, I think it's reasonable for us to doubt that the data ever existed. I think Tim knows that trying to fabricate it at this point wouldn't be wise, especially since anti-MLMers tend to do our best to break down data and fact check, so we'd probably notice it and call him out really quickly, adding to the discussion of deception and network marketing that he's been trying to deter his followers from. So his best bet is to just feign busyness and hope that we all just forget and carry on. But the internet doesn't forget Timmy. It's been 2 months since you were supposed to deliver. Where's the data, Timmy? If we ever do get a response from him, I'll be sure to let you guys know. In the meantime, if you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content. Check out my Facebook and Twitter. I've just passed 150 followers on there, so thank you. And also check out my blog at multilevelmess.wordpress.com. Be sure to go support Savy and Taylor and Kiki Chanel, and please don't send any hate or harassment to Tim Sales or his followers, because let's face it, he'll block you for just politely asking him a question anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you back in the graveyard very soon.